Joining me now are two of the attorneys for George Floyd's family. Justin Miller and Chris Stewart join us. Great to see you guys. Thanks so much. I know it's a busy day, a lot happening. Why don't you just start from a personal perspective and describe to me and the folks watching at home, being two people that are so interwoven with the family of George Floyd and what happened today in Minneapolis, how you're feeling.
Yeah, first let me salute Court TV, because the days we weren't able to be in Minnesota, we were watching the entire trial live on Court TV, which is the absolute truth. And we had to watch it, take notes like we were actually there in trial. So salute to the network for running such a great trial virtually, especially during the pandemic. But today was history. It was history on a lot of levels, where this is not just a win for the Floyd family, this is a win for the world. It renews hope, it renews faith, it renews the possibilities of justice for African Americans when they deal with law enforcement. And hopefully it's a big momentum shift for change.
When I think of this case, and you know, it comes down to anytime you're inside a courtroom, what are the facts, what are the law, what's the law of the case? And in this case, I mean, the one big fact, the one big piece of evidence, we saw everything that happened. And in a lot of cases, we're not going to see everything that happens. So what are your thoughts tonight, Justin, about, okay, what happens in the next case where maybe we don't see everything that took place? Should we still trust our system of justice? Will you trust our system of justice?
Well, I think that this is the life that I've chosen. And Chris and I both, we got into this field to make a difference and to make a change. So we have to trust the justice system. Now, does that mean the system is perfect? Absolutely not. And it's not going to be perfect after this verdict. But what this does do, it shows people that we can get the right result when bad things happen to people in this country, especially Black people, because we, for a long time, just never have really been able to kind of feel comfortable that the right result was going to happen. So I think that it's a good step in the right direction, and we need more of these steps in some of these other cases so that people can really have faith in the justice system and understand that it's working for them like it's working for everyone else.
Now, there's an issue that wasn't a part of this case because it's not an element of the crime, so no one had to prove it, and it was a different kind of murder trial. But I'm talking about motive. What do you think, as you look at what happened that day? We all got to see body cam footage. We saw and heard all the interaction. And begin with Officers King and Lane, who made the initial arrest here. What do you think motivated the arrest of George Floyd? And what do you think motivated Derek Chauvin in the restraint and the subdual of George Floyd?
Power. Power is what leads politicians, police officers, even just your average person to do some really messed up things. It's the power that I have a badge on and I have a gun and I can arrest you and I have power over you. And they're used to whatever you say, whatever complaints you have, no one will care. No one will hear about it. Even if it's on cell phone video, the other officers will back him up and say that that's not accurate. It's power. It's the power that some jerk at a job gets, and now he's the manager and he makes life hell for everybody else. It's power. That's what led them to do all of those actions, and not lead with their heart or lead with love for actually being a police officer. And that's what we have to change. We can't let people who put on a badge and let them think that that's going to make them, more powerful, be out there on the streets.
And as we look ahead, and we know this is not going to be the last time there's a fatality in an interaction between police and the public. Sometimes officers get killed. Sometimes members of the public get killed. What happens for the next one? I look at each case, as a lawyer, I look at, what are the facts of that specific case and what happened. Do you think there's a sense that the public will examine the next situation that way based upon the facts as they're presented, or do you think there's something else that will drive the nation's reaction? Because we're seeing it over and over again, and each situation is different because there's different circumstances, different facts. Justin?
I think there are two different things at play. So one thing is the tenor of the nation and the way that the people in this country are starting to understand and get behind the plight of underrepresented minorities in this country. So there was a time before social media and before cameras when there were a lot of people who just didn't know that these things were going on. So I think that that's one thing, and I think that pendulum is shifting towards people understanding and having empathy for minorities. The second thing is the trial, and I think that the next time one of these comes up, the jurors will now understand and be able to look at the case and not look at it as themselves or a person who's never been through it, but look at it through the eyes of another person. Look at it through the eyes of a black person or a black man and how he may feel when he's pulled over by the police and what his innate fears are when he's pulled over by the police. Instead of just saying, hey, these are the police, they're always right, that kind of thing. So I think it's good for both things, and I think that the next case will kind of tell the tale. Well
stated. Absolutely well stated, Justin. Final question. We're out of time here, but he's going to be sentenced 8 weeks from now. What do you think is fair and just for this conviction?
We got to leave that up to the judge because he's chosen to have the judge decide that, and we don't want to comment on it and influence the judge in any kind of way.
That's another smart attorney, Chris Stewart. I tried to get you on the record, Chris, but you didn't go for it.
That was a good try.
All right.
That was a good one.
All right, guys, I know we have a little problem with the video connection, but we really appreciate you coming on tonight, and thanks so much, and give our best to the family.
Okay, take care.
Thank you.